This is tropical cabbage screening, PanDia varieties. Here we have 30 varieties that were transplanted on the 27th of July. So they are now approximately 60 days after transplant. We would now begin with our first variety, variety 4225. 4225, we see that it's sort of medium early. We already have some heads. They are fairly firm. This plant has a fairly open habit and a nice head. Nice heads, we see that they are fairly uniform. They are maturing at the same time. Then we move to variety 4196. 4196 has a similar structure, similar head type. The head is a little bit more open, but the maturity is also quite uniform. Uniform heads, nice green color. And then we move to variety 4195. It is somewhat similar to the previous two, but it's slightly later. The heads it appears that they would be a bit smaller also. Here we have two heads that are mature and they look quite nice, fairly round heads, nice shape. Then we move to variety 2016-27. This one, it's a sort of compact plant with a roundish head, very compact roundish head, nice, somewhat egg shape, somewhat roundish. Here we have a head that is more or less mature, and it's a nice formation. It needs a little, most of the plants need another week to be fully mature. Now we are at 4197. 4197 is very, very early, and it has a nice head, a somewhat compact plant, not big leaves, but it's a very efficient plant and it has a nice head. We can see here it's a flattish head, fairly small, and the plants are uniform. All the heads look more or less the same size. We see some slight black rot on a few leaves, but it's not a big problem here. We would now move to variety 4221. 4221 is very early. It has an egg-shaped head, but it's splitting quite a lot. As soon as they are ready, they begin to split. So we would drop this one. And it also has signs of black rot, severe black rot in many of the plants. Then we move over to 4185. 4185, another compact plant with a very beautiful head. It's a smallish head, but compact and a nice shape. We see a few signs of black rot in a few of the heads, but probably not a big problem. We then move to 4223. 4223, another egg-shaped variety, very early, but it's a weak plant. It doesn't have enough vigor for poor soils. We would drop this one. Then this is Tropical Pride. Tropical Pride is the commercial variety that we are using in Grenada. The plants here would be ready in about 7 days, 5 to 7 days, but here we have a head that is mature, and it has it's a nice head, nice shape, very firm, with a good size. We now move to variety 4188. 4188 is also a fairly compact plant. It has a beautiful head, very firm, it's flat, and with a nice formation and firmness. The plot is generally clean. It's more or less uniform heading, good uniformity, nice green, nice appearance. Now we move to 4226. It's sort of medium maturity, about 50% of the field of the plot. The heads are mature. It's also a good shape, smaller than the previous variety. The previous one has a more beautiful head in terms of formation. However, this plot 4226 is quite clean. We don't see any disease problems. Now we are at 2016-25. Again, we are looking here at a sort of roundish to egg-shaped head. The head is held high. That may be an advantage in terms of when there is a lot of rain, so the head is very high and kept over the moist ground and less rotten. Here we have a mature head, nice shape, good firmness, very firm. 2016-25 is also very clean. No sign of disease, no sign of black rot. We now move to Gigante Verde. Gigante Verde, remember in Guatemala we saw it as a massive head. Here in Grenada in the Caribbean, it's a smallish head. It has a nice shape. Here we have a head that looks almost mature, and it has a beautiful shape, and it's also quite firm. Actually, at this stage, this head can be harvested for the Caribbean market. Now at 4194. 4194 is very early, with a similar maturity and a head shape and plant type as 4197. The plot, the maturity, it's quite uniform, and we do not see signs of disease. Whereas on 4197 there is just some very slight black rot. Here we do not see any black rot, and it's a very beautiful head also. Yeah, and very firm. Okay, we are now at 888. 888, it appears to be sort of egg-shaped. The head is held way above the leaves. It is lit. It has a sort of purplish tinge on the leaves, but it's a lit variety. We have to wait to see how it turns out. Now we are at 4325. 4325 looks very beautiful. It's very uniform. It's a bit later than the other varieties. Here we see some black rot, but this appears to be a seed from another variety that fell in. But the interesting thing is that the plants that are close to this plant with black rot, they do not show the black rot. So it seems like the variety has a good resistance to black rot. It looks pretty good, but it's late. We need to see it in about 10 days. Now 4325, PDS 4326. It has a very nice head. The plants don't appear to be very uniform in the heading don't appear to be very uniform, but it has a beautiful head. If we look here, we can see it's a sort of roundish, high round head that is very firm at this stage. We don't see problems with disease in 4326, so it looks like a variety that we'll have to look at again. Right. Okay. 6907. This variety is very late. It has a sort of greenish silverish tone, sort of waxy. It's late, but we need to look at it to see how it turns out. We know that some of the varieties with heavy wax, they may be less susceptible to insect infestation. So it grows, the growth seems to be quite uniform, but we have to keep looking at it. Here we are at 4191, which looks somewhat similar to the previous 6907. It's also late, so we have to keep looking at it. It's a sort of silvery green and late variety, but the growth is quite uniform and the plants have good vigor. Now we are at 4222. This variety 4222 produces heads that are somewhat high round, but it's a very attractive head and the plot is very clean. We haven't seen any incidents of black rot here. It's very firm, very nice head, and it looks quite promising. This is 2016-26. It seems to be sort of mid maturity. We seem to be having here a little sign of burn. The plot was fertilized twice with calcium, so we don't see tip burn as a big problem here. So this is something that would have to be evaluated in another plot. But in this variety, I'm seeing a little bit of tip burn. However, the head is firm and it seems to have a nice formation. We don't see problems with disease. Just a couple spots of black rot, just a little bit. Now we move to 1165. 1165 is a very early variety, also egg-shaped, and it's a small head. This variety was tested in Jamaica. The farmers liked it because of the earliness. At the back of the plot, we see a few plants with signs of black rot, and it's coming, I believe, from the next plot that is the neighboring plot that is next to it. But it's an indication that this variety may not have strong black rot resistance. We are now at 011603 and it's heavily infested with black rot. So we are going to drop this variety. It has a nice head, but with black rot we do not think we would advance this variety. So we are moving now to 3994. 3994. we see a lot of leaves, kind of like a rosette, and the head is just held in the middle. It's also lit, but fairly uniform. So we'll have to see, we'll have to wait to see how it turns out. Okay, we are now looking at 4230. 4230, it looks very uniform. It's a bit late, but we don't see any issues of disease, at least as yet, so we'll have to keep looking at it, but it looks, at this stage, it looks promising. Then we move to 4145. 4145 is very nice. It's a nice fresh green. It has fresh green leaves. The tissues seem to be somewhat soft, but the head, it's firm. It's producing a very nice looking head. We can wait here probably another 5 days for maturity. Here we have a head that looks mature, and it looks pretty good. It's a nice head, very attractive. The plants are very attractive in the plot. Then we move to variety 4193. 4193 also has a very beautiful aspect. The plants look good. We are seeing just a couple spots of black rot on the edges of some of the leaves. We have to look at that, but the heads, so far the heads look quite firm, already firm, and it has a nice shape, sort of flat round or round flat. And we now move to the final variety 4186, which is also a sort of egg-shaped or high round head. It's not ready, but it has a good aspect, and the plants look quite clean. 4186. So this is an overview of the plot. Some varieties are ready, and some varieties would be ready in about 7 to 10 days. I think that the latest varieties, in about 10 days, they should be 10 to 12 days, they should be ready. But from this plot, I'm very confident that we should be able to get a few varieties that would work well for the Caribbean market. Yeah. This from the States. Here we're looking at sweet corn to the right. This is a variety that came from the US. These are seeds that a farmer gave me to test. And to the left, we are seeing the taller variety that is Tesoro from PanDia seeds. The plants are quite strong. The ears are very nicely formed ears. This area had received some dry conditions and very high winds, but the plants have been able to perform well and give good production under those conditions. Alright, so what we'll move to now. up here. And then with heavy rain, the core keeps growing, eh?
Right.
With heavy rain, it keeps, or if you leave it in the field, if the market is not very good, the price is not very good, so the farmer leaves it in the field. If the core is long and it's here, it keeps growing,
so you get less
growing,
leaf.
and then it bursts, right? Most of them burst because the core keeps growing out.
Right, right,
Yeah?
right.
So you want a cabbage with a relatively short core. This is pretty good. Yeah.